What is up, everybody, and welcome to today's new video, where today we are going over a trade I took with MyFlashFunding and their 100k challenge. So this is continuing from a theme on this YouTube channel where I, try out prop firms with a 100k challenge and then we'll come back to you guys and review them. So firstly, we're going to be breaking down the CAD JPY trade I took on MyFlashFunding's platform, and then we will be heading over to the website and checking out any things that stand out to me and going over anything that you might find useful. So first of all, let's get started on the charts. So at this period in time, on the 15th and 16th of January, the 16th of January is when I executed, and then obviously the prior days with a build up to that. Around this time period, dollar was in a consolidation. So when dollar's in a consolidation, I like to look at exotic pairs and crosses. So my theory behind this was that the JPY, so the Japanese yen, was really bearish at this period in time. It still is, but at this specific period, Japanese yen was bearish and the Canadian dollar was, I can't remember if it was bullish or consolidating. Either one, it doesn't matter. I think it was bullish. So if we have a bullish currency paired with a bearish currency, that should give us some upside on the crosses. So the cross of that currency should give us upside. And that is exactly what I was looking for. I loaded up the chart on the daily chart and I've seen we have been trading up for a while. Now, inside here, you can see we have 3 down close candles. That is our bullish order block. And if you take your eyes over here, we have a high, a low, a high, lower low, and then higher high. I should have started here, low, high, lower low, higher high. And then these 2 up close candles become our breaker block. Now this was our breaker block. So we are trading inside this breaker block here at this point. Notice how we tap the top of it and then reject. So when this day opened up and went bullish, I knew that the following day, especially with it being a Tuesday, likely to expand, was going to take out at least the previous day high. Okay, so that was the logic behind it. The breaker, the order block here, and then bullish order flow. That's 3 confluences already. And then we worked off of that. Now, if I head down into the 1 hour chart, you can see this line was our bullish order block, and then this is our breaker. Let me just mark up that really quickly so we can distinguish between the two. Breaker and then order block, and then obviously external range buy side liquidity up there. Okay, right. Bullish order block, and we have New York midnight. Now what do we want to see if bullish at New York midnight? A Judah swing lower. Judah swing lower, taking out all this sell side liquidity down here. Breakout traders think we're going short to target this area, when in reality, as we all know, we're bullish, right? So I was working off of here and I wasn't up for London, I must admit. So I went to New York, and then 7 a.m. we have the start of New York, okay? So we've had our Judah swing, and then London traded higher. London created the low of the day, which is what we want to see on classic buy days, okay? Always remember that. And then this area here was where my entry was. We're going to drop down and I'll show you exactly where that is and why that is, but I want to show you something inside here first. This up close candle, what does that look like to you? Okay, I'll give you a little second to work that out. If you look here, low, high, lower low, not traded above yet, traded above here. Once we trade above this up close candle, the most recent one, becomes our bullish breaker. And you can see after New York session, price mitigates it, creates a swing low into the breaker, and then moves for buy side liquidity. Now, once we do that, I drop down into a 15-minute time frame. And because I wasn't at the charts at this point, I had all of this marked out, right? I had the breaker marked out, or I was anticipating the breaker to form, and then it did form as soon as we traded above. So I was out at this point, and then for my entry, I longed the top of the breaker. So once we came into here, I instantly took a long, targeted up here, the buy side liquidity, and my stop loss was at the bottom of the breaker, giving us a bit of room if we want to dig into this premium or discount, sorry, of the breaker, okay? And then this low shouldn't really be violated if we are bullish. So that's where my stop loss was, about there. And then I targeted about a 1 to 2.3, I think. So that was my execution. Now, I can throw an execution screenshot up for you now. And I mean, as you can see, I caught the bottom of it, the very bottom of the 15-minute candle where we tapped into this bullish breaker. And that is the power of the breakers. But I also want to give credit to the MyFlashFunding platform here, because as you can all see, that's a really tight entry, and a lot of platforms don't give you that sort of precision. Okay, a lot of brokers do not. You know, you'd be putting probably up here if you tried that on another broker. So without any biases, you know, I'm not partnered with them, but that's a very good entry, especially on a market execution, right? Because as I said, I was outside, I wasn't sat at my desk. So I market executed, and I mean, that's a great execution, okay? So now I'm going to jump over to the MyFlashFunding website, and I want to show you a couple of things on there for any of you who came for the review. And well, I hope the trade breakdown was useful, and hopefully you can apply a couple of things taught here into your own trading. Emphasizing especially on the stuff like this breaker. These sort of breakers here are so useful when you can see them all the time. Because a lot of you, or a lot of ICT traders, I see this sort of thing, and then everyone's like, oh, that's your breaker. These tiny moves inside here. But once you realize and you zoom out that this is a breaker as well, it becomes so powerful, okay? So with that being said, we'll head over to the MyFlashFunding website, and I'll catch you over there. As you can see here, guys, we are on the MyFlashFunding website and over to the review portion of this. Now, starting off, I just want to say one little criticism. It's not anything big. Of course, these prop firms they have to be to a certain standard at this point in the industry. So when you load up the mobile website, it's pretty hard to navigate. So those of you who do just use mobile to manage your accounts and things like that, this is a lot harder to do on the mobile app, quite like a few prop firm websites, if I have to be honest. But on the dashboard on PC, it's fine, it's perfect, everything's all good, it works. So we have, as you can see here, the rules and the different profit targets, losses, and things like that. Now, the main thing that I do want to give MyFlashFunding credit for is definitely the 6% profit target, right? These are, to my knowledge, the lowest in the industry. Well, there's probably lower than this, but with firms that are not reliable. I wouldn't go with firms that have a 4% or 5% profit target, to be honest. That as a model, a business model itself, is not sustainable. In my opinion, they won't be around for long, okay? But MyFlashFunding, I have friends in the industry. I have, some of you guys have messaged me saying you're funded with MyFlashFunding and it's a great website. So they're credible. They're definitely credible. And having communicated with them, of course, for this video, really nice support team, really easy to talk to and get things solved. I actually had a problem with I won't go on for too long, but I actually had a problem with my password where I couldn't reset it, and then contacted support, and within a minute or two they replied and it was sorted. Okay, so, but again, back to the main point, the thing I want to point out is that 6% profit target. A 6% profit target, if I risked 2% on that CAD JPY trade I just showed you, you would nearly have passed phase one, okay? A lot of the industry still has 10%, or I've seen 8% a lot. 6%, to my knowledge, lowest in the industry. So that is the main pull for MyFlashFunding, and that is, like, I would recommend that to a lot of viewers. Although, if you are taking a prop firm challenge, in reality, you should be able to make 8% before taking one. But also, the profit target's 6%, the maximum loss is 8%. Right? Usually, yeah, it's 10%, and then the daily loss is 4%. But notice how everything's bumped down. So I would say it is easier to make the 6% than lose the 8%, right? Because if you think about a normal firm with a 10% or an 8% target and a 10% drawdown, I don't think, what to my knowledge, or for me at least, I suspect that I won't lose 10 trades in a row. Of course it's possible. I'm not saying it's not. It definitely is possible, especially when you're 5 trades down and psychology is now playing a part. But this definitely helps, because I don't think even 8 losses in a row you would just risking 1%, but 6% you could definitely, that is much more achievable. So that is the main draw for these, and you can see the trading period, unlimited time. So you have literally unlimited time to pass these challenges. You could be inactive for 3 weeks and then come back to the account, no problem. No minimum trading days, daily loss 4%, which, to be honest, you shouldn't be going near that anyway. That shouldn't be close to being hit. So I always look at maximum daily loss as like a, you can sort of put that to the side. 4% is still a lot. You should not be risking that much in a day anyway. Maximum loss 8%. Usually it's 10%, but 8% it makes up for the 6% profit target, of course. And then, of course, the price for the 2-step, a refundable fee of nearly $1,000, $977, which all in all definitely isn't bad for a $200,000 account. I've seen much higher prices than that. Firms that have been around for a while, like FTMO, still haven't adapted too much to the fees of the current prop firms. And then we have a 1-step challenge as well, where we have just a bit more than the 2-step challenge. And in the 1-step challenge, your profit target is of course 10%. Now, that would be, a 2-step challenge. So basically the pull of a 1-step challenge is that it's 10% to pass and then you're funded. Whereas this, I think it's 6% on phase 1 and then 6% again, as you can see here, on phase 2. So that would be 12% to pass overall, compared to the 1-step, which is of course less, in it being 10%. So that is pretty much MyFlashFunding, and you can see the dashboard is really clean. Be sure to join their Discord. It's really nice in there. That's actually where I got help from. And with that being said, that will bring us to the end of this video. All in all, I do recommend MyFlashFunding simply because of the profit target itself. I think it's a really good starting firm, I would say, for any new traders. That's what I would give it. But yeah, you've heard my little criticism and my reasoning behind choosing these. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video and the trade breakdown. If you did find it useful, please do drop a like and drop a comment. Be sure to check out my social links in the description and MyFlashFunding down there. And thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.